Sorry to come back to CS voice after WebRTC, video telephony, mobile VoIP, but the reality of high definition voice today is over CS. So 4 years ago, it was the 9th of September, so 9/9 of 2009 at 9 p.m. Orange Moldova, in the eastern part of Europe, launched the first service of mobile high definition voice. It was the first time that wideband MR codec was deployed over a live network. 4 years later, where are we? What are the main lessons that we can experience from this launch, and what are the next steps in terms of HD voice? This is what I would like to share with you today. So I guess it's perfect. So to start, a quick reminder of high definition voice. I guess that everybody knows that it is, let's say, some sort of marketing name of what we call the wideband speech telephony. That is the extension of the frequency spectrum of speech up to 7 kHz instead of the 3.4 kHz used over decades. But it's more than that. It's also network QoS. It's also hands-free. It's also acoustical performance in order to deliver to our customers a global communication experience that is different and ever equaled with respect to the past. More clarity, more comfort, more presence sensation of presence, and above all, for us operators, it's a way to give value to the basic communication service that is to voice. What do we need to offer high definition voice? There are 3 components to my mind. The first one is the network. The network must be transparent. It must transmit the coded wideband speech format without any degradation. It must also guarantee QoS to ensure global communication experience. The device, then, whose acoustical performance must respect this quality. And the third component, which is maybe the most difficult one, is communication. Communication to make HD voice known by the customer, to make it visible, and believe me, this is not the easiest task. In terms of technical components, you know that it's based on standards. For instance, the codecs MRWB or EVRC and NW. The acoustical requirements for devices coming from 3GPP, referred by GSMA. All that is, I would say, under control nowadays. 4 years after the first launch, where are we in terms of deployments? To date, there are about 85 operators that have launched HD voice over the world. Mainly over 3G, some over 2G also, and as it has been mentioned in the previous presentation, it is also launched with VoLTE, in particular in Korea. More than 200 device models according to GSA. I think that there are much more than 200 devices supporting wideband MR, but at least it's the number we have from GSA. And a customer base which is estimated at the end of the year about 100 million, which is quite significant 4 years after the first launch. In terms of communication, we have also progressed as we have now a logo, the HD voice logo, you know it, which is managed by GSMA. It has been defined 2 years ago in 2011, and it is associated to a set of technical requirements dealing as well with the network as with the devices. And this set of requirements guarantees the quality to customers. I would say that HD voice, as defined by GSMA, is a certified quality. And nowadays, there are about 45 companies that have applied for a license at GSMA. So somewhat good support from the industry. Logo to make it visible and to make HD voice recognized by the customers. And what about customers? When we have launched high definition voice in several countries, 18 at the total for Orange, we took the opportunity to make either test before the launch or customer survey afterwards. And globally, really the customer opinion is very positive. As we can see here, I have compiled some data coming from tests and surveys that we performed in France, Romania, Moldova. I had a look before coming to a recent survey performed in other countries, in Jordan, for instance, and results are the same. First point, the customer satisfaction is quite high, as you can see on the slide. If you consider what we call the Net Promoter Score, that is the difference between the percentage of satisfied customers minus the dissatisfied ones, the lowest Net Promoter Score we have observed is in Romania. It equals 77%, which is very, very high with respect to the other service that we test. Are customers expecting HD voice? The answer is yes, at least when they are aware of it. Can read that they expect it from the network operators. They are ready to change their mobile device to support to have HD voice, but they absolutely need for that to be aware. And this is a key point. Once again, communication to our customer is absolutely determining. Does HD voice have an impact on the operator or the device maker in terms of image and loyalty? Answer also is yes. They really consider that an operator that has, in this case, Orange, it was, I think, in Romania, has a better image once HD voice has been launched, and they consider also that it's a factor to stay with the operator. So all these numbers are quite positive, and as I said, we have also observed the same numbers, the same opinion in other countries. But what about the behavior of voice usage after HD voice has been launched? We had the opportunity of observing the usage, voice communication usage, of customers that change their mobile from non-HD mobile to HD one, and to compare this set of customers to other ones that change also at the same time, but to a non-HD device. This was made at the early of 2012 in France and in other countries. And the observation was 6 months before the change, 6 months after, and over several thousand of customers. So what we have found is on the figure at the bottom, the left part of the figure corresponds to the customers that change to a non-HD device. The right part is for the ones that switch to a HD mobile device. And the first bar, the orange one, is the voice usage in minutes per month before the change, and the yellow one is after the change. You can notice that both groups have a higher voice usage after the change of device. This is related to maybe a change also of subscription. It's the same for both groups. But what is interesting here is that the ones that change to an HD device has still a higher increase of voice communication usage, but by about plus 3%. And this gap of about 3% has been observed in different countries in Europe, as you can see. I do not claim that this difference is only due to HD voice. Furthermore, in early 2012, the probability of making a HD call was quite limited, but at least they took benefit from the improved acoustical performance of the device. But at least HD voice contributes to this increase of voice communication usage. And I would say that not only there is a positive opinion, as we have seen through the survey, but in the reality, observing voice usage of customers, there is also an impact on their behavior. What are the next steps? Actually, it's very simple. HD Voice is a very simple service. It's enhancing the quality of voice communication service. And it is driven by one indicator, which is the probability of making a HD call. And nowadays, to make a HD call, I must be as HD customer, that is a customer equipped with a HD phone and having subscribed to an operator having launched wideband AMR over its network. So to make a HD call, I must be under 3G coverage, if launched only on 3G, and I must call another customer, HD customer of the same operator. Considering these limitations, we estimate that for France, for launch in France, the probability for me as HD customer to make a HD call is about 10%. That is 1 call over 10. It may seem low, that's true, but 1 year before, it was less than 5%. That is, in 1 year, the probability of making HD call has been multiplied by more than 2. This is simply related to the increased support of wideband AMR and HD requirements over the devices, and in particular over the smartphones. Still, how to increase this probability? There are 3 levels. Continue the extension over the highest possible number of devices, first one. Second one, extend to other networks, VoLTE, we have seen previously, but also 2G. I will come back on that. And above all, interconnect in HD what I would call the HD islands. At the end of the year, about 100 million customers, but they are on islands that are not HD interconnected. And interconnection is really a key factor to increase the probability of making a HD call. By doing so, you see on the right part of the slide that by doing so, this example is for France also. So by doing so, we expect that in some years, the probability of making a HD call, in the case of France, would be about 60 to 7%, that is 6 to 7 calls over 10 for a HD customer. Coming back to these levers, actually the message here is that these factors to increase the HD probability have to be adapted to local context. To illustrate this, let us consider first the first one, which is the extension to the highest possible number of devices. You see on the right part of the slide the forecast of mobile device sales for 2 regions, Western Europe and Africa, and for 2 categories of mobiles, smartphones, high-end, and feature phones, mid-end. I took the example of Africa because it's a region of importance for us at Orange. And what we see is that for Western Europe, it's the upper curve and the lowest one. The sales are oriented to smartphones that we know, and as HD Voice is supported by almost all smartphones, the growth will be, I would say, natural. For Africa, it's another story. Nowadays, we mostly sell feature phones, and this will continue in the next years. Having the support of HD Voice over feature phones, that is over mid-end devices, is key for such markets. This has impacts onto HD Voice content, in particular in terms of cost. Feature phones are more cost-constrained, of course, than smartphones. And we have debates nowadays inside GSMA, for instance, about the evolution of high-definition voice, and we should absolutely take into account this need of support over devices which are not smartphones. This is, once again, important for some markets in emerging regions. Extension over 2G. Why talking about 2G, whereas we have seen VoLTE and so on? Still, a large part of the voice traffic is conveyed over 2G. And having HD voice over 2G would, of course, increase the HD call probability, but it would also avoid to lose the quality, the HD quality, when having a handover from 3G to 2G. And this sharp reduction of quality is something quite annoying when you experience it. It's easier nowadays to activate wideband MR over 2G because simply the BSS RAN, 2G RAN has evolved. And in particular, it is now more and more connected by IP interface to the core network, which makes the management of wideband MR much easier than over the previous TDM link, which required TFO, which is not so easy to deploy. Third, the factors interoperability. It's really the key factor. Here, I must confess that the progress is slower than expected, and this is simply related to the fact that the HD interoperability depends on a very strong prerequisite, which is the IP-to-IP interconnection between mobile networks, and for various reasons, this IP-to-IP interoperability goes slower than we had expected, but I am quite confident that in the future, in the next years even, there will be strong progress on this part. One quick slide about HD voice and VoLTE. First, it already exists. It has been done. It has been said in the previous presentation. In Korea, for instance, it is specified through the GSMA and 3GPP specification, and we are pushing at GSMA to extend the logo usage also to VoLTE. This will hopefully the case on next version of HD logo next year. We should still pay attention to some points from the HD point of view, in particular to the, I would say, to the interconnection or to the relationship between VoLTE and CS. The handover first with SRVCC, which may be not so obvious or maybe somewhat difficult to deploy in the real life, and also the interconnection between simply the calls between VoLTE and 3G. We should absolutely keep wideband MR end-to-end. Because for operators like us that have launched over 3GCS, having this end-to-end wideband MR is a way to make VoLTE customers benefit from the installed basis over CS. And we should take into account the opportunity of VLTE to go further and of course, to go to Super HD thanks to the EVS codec, which is now being standardized at 3GPP. I have still 30 seconds for the conclusion slide. As a conclusion, I would like to express these 4 wishes, 4 invitations, having the support of wideband MR and HD voice not only over smartphones but also over feature phones, important for emerging markets. Let us build the bridges between the HD islands. Second wish, that is for my colleagues, operators. Let us take advantage of VoLTE to still offer still better quality than HD voice thanks to Super HD, EVS codec. And above all, let us communicate to the customer so that they are aware of HD voice, not only by listening, but also by seeing the logo and so on, and so that they recognize the efforts made by the industry and the operators to offer them the best possible quality for voice communication. Thanks for your attention.